Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another author interview. Wisdom in Words. Tonight, we've got an amazing interviewee with us and with me and Kyra tonight. Um, Kyra's going to be on. Kyra is on. Hello, Kyra. Welcome.
Hi, Todd.
Great to have you. I feel
Thank
like it's
you.
been forever since we've been on a live together.
I know, like a few minutes or something.
A few minutes. Tonight, we have a very special guest. One of our all-time greatest
All
authors,
star
all-star
authors.
author, community supporters, just an incredible writer, and a fierce friend. YuSon
She is. She'll
Shin.
take you out.
YuSon Shin is our lady. I'm going
Cute,
to read her bio here before we get started. YuSon Shin is an international healer who has successfully helped both people and animals with physical issues like cancer, COVID-19, pneumonia, Lyme, high blood pressure, pancreatitis, kidney and digestive issues, and other diseases rooted in inflammation. As a highly trained intuitive, she enjoys using her skills as a medical intuitive and animal communicator. In her experience, animals heal quickly because they don't have the high levels of baggage and complications that humans do. She believes everyone has the power to heal themselves, and as a healer, she simply accelerates healing by clearing the blockages, whether physical, emotional, generational, ancestral, past life, or trauma based. Yusan also enjoys teaching humans to heal themselves and use their latent intuitive abilities. She also enjoys sharing her knowledge and empowering others through speaking engagements and her 9 books. Wow. She can be reached at either YuSon at YuSon Shinling Hearts, YuSon at shinhealingarts.com or 310-430-4033. But do not call her during this interview, please. And more information can be found on our website, www.shinhealingarts.com.
Yay!
And with that, let's welcome her in. Welcome, YuSon.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did
Yay!
you know your name is a verb? It's shinning. It's an action word.
It's been used for all sorts of things. Hey, you kind of but how are my 2 favorite people?
Doing good.
We are
Better now that
doing
you're
great.
here.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to join the party.
It's been a while since we've been on a live together, and it's really a pleasure because YuSon's been a part of our community for years and just has been in so many of our collaboration books and has written so many amazing things. And there's 2 things I want to say, and I don't know if I can wait until we get into the questions. Yes, I'm going to say them right now because those are other specific questions. Um, 2 things I've been itching to say for a long time. First thing is, I think I may have said this to you before, YuSon, but um, for years I've been waiting. I've been like, I cannot wait till she writes a solo book. I'm going to read this book cover to cover. I just can't wait. I mean, if and when, no pressure. But if she writes a solo book, I have to read it. Absolutely have to read it. Because her contributions to the collab books have been so epic, which leads me to my second point. Whenever I read her, and I've actually told her this, whenever I read her articles or chapters in the collab books, not only are they extremely well written, but they're healing. There's some healing
Yes.
energy. There's some Reiki going on in these things. And I'm just going through and copy editing like I do. And I'm like, geez, I feel like I'm getting a Reiki session here. I'm just totally chilling out. And I contacted her. This was a while ago. I contacted her. I'm like, I really feel relaxed when I'm reading your stuff and I'm doing it. She's like, well, yeah, I actually put healing energy right into my article. And I'm like, when is she not in service, just sharing her healing energy, just incredible. So I wanted to lead off with those 2 comments.
Oh, thank you. I mean, you have to get max benefit when you read any of your collaborative books. So why not?
Yeah.
Right. Hey, look
Wonderful.
a friend is visiting us.
Sally.
Sally!
Hi, Sally. So, yeah, I know that there's a book inside of me. I think Sally's got a book inside of her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
I just don't know if it's the right time just yet, but it's probably itching to come out sometime.
Good.
And you guys will be the publishers to do it.
Yay! We're like, goody. Hello, the heart.
Yay!
Yes, Dr. Sally was on with us yesterday, day before yesterday, last Thursday. So we have gotten Sally love the last week and a half, which has been really good.
Yeah, she's an incredible human and a wonderful therapist and healer herself. So
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that.
Yeah.
And it's like to like, it's like to
Yeah.
be in your, both of your energy is just a gift. It's a gift.
it's nice to be in your energy.
Well, I always feel whenever you have such a grounded, so that's the thing I think is so interesting about the kind of just naturally who you are and the work that you do as well, but just being around you, I feel, sometimes when you're working with someone and they might be still kind of working and developing on their own energetic skills and they are honing them, they haven't quite gotten to that place of, kind of not being so much in the upper echelons, but also being really grounded in their practice. And that's something that takes time. It takes, just an exploration of the self. And so for me, with you, I feel like you're just incredibly grounded in your energy practice. And that is very powerful because then it makes me feel more at ease, more grounded, more clear. And so just that natural gift that you have is such a good thing to be around.
Thank you.
And here, Dr. Sally's saying something similar. Yeah. Oh, thank you. That means a lot. YuSon is the embodiment of the authentic healer and fully from the heart. Yes. Grounded, empowering.
Well, takes
It
one
takes one to know one, Dr. Sally.
So that would describe Dr. Sally as well. So yeah, but I tell my clients and my students that when you're up here, it's great, it feels great, and you don't want to come down sometimes, but that's really like you need to be grounded in order to get the most oomph in life, right? Because you were given a body for a reason. And so in order to reach more people and to have like deeper connections, you have to do both.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a practice of integrating in that way that you do? Before we get into the questions we were going to ask you, I just feel drawn to ask you that. Do you have a common practice that you use?
I do. So everyone knows about meditation and they think meditation and grounding are the same. They're actually different. Meditation just quiets the mind so that you can get the answers that you need from wherever you think it comes from. Grounding just puts you into your body, and I equate it as like if a runner, at the starting point uses the starting block or not, right? It really gives them the jet propulsion that they need to get a great start and to make maximum impact. If you're not grounded, you can't do that. It's like, trying to capture air.
Yeah, right.
So that's really important. I also really believe in doing physical exercises. So I'm a big follower of Donna Eden. who actually sees energy, and she does physical exercises. She works a lot with the energy systems and meridians and things like that. So I do a lot of clearing so that I am connected to, universal energy and earth energy at the same time.
Yeah,
So
very nice.
it's a daily practice.
Yeah. I do Qigong. I've been studying it for a long time, and other types of martial arts, which has helped me to understand the energy that flows throughout my body and how to pull in energy. So yeah, that just resonates so much with me, and especially with the activity. And I think we're learning a lot more about somatic healing and somatic practice now, and the way the body moves. And it's like, okay, well, you know where all of that came from, and so that to me has always been really fascinating. Yoga, even just very gentle yoga. And Todd and I do a little bit of online yoga. We have Jessica Richmond. She's very calming. Richburg. I'm sorry. She's I was born in Richmond. This is Richburg. And so this morning I had a lot of pain in my body and my hips, and I was like, I gotta turn this on, and I did, and it was really, really helpful. So thank you. That's really good. I always like to hear what other people do. Yeah. Donna Eden. I didn't know she was still with us. I don't know why. I must have been confusing her with someone else, but
yeah, she holds classes all the time. Free videos on YouTube. People should look her up if money's an issue, or if you want to get a taste of moving the body and moving your energy that way. And also, I believe in the whole integrative thing. So while I understand and I like to give healing energy, pair it and integrate like physical things, like physical therapy. If you've injured yourself, it just makes things go so much faster.
Okay.
I always start giggling when I'm with you.
I know, you do. It's just something. It's just our little soul selves love to play with each other. I think that's what it is.
That's right.
Todd?
Do we want to get into the questions?
Yeah.
Let's do that. So,
by the way, he's not upset with us. He's just
not at all. No, laugh it up.
He's just ready. He just is excited to learn more.
No, I love it. Laugh it up. That's why I only did like 5 questions instead of more. So there was time to chillax, because we've known each other a while, So YuSon, you've written 9 books, each contributing to the healing and intuitive arts. What first inspired you to share your knowledge and experiences through writing, and how has the process of writing these books impacted your work as a healer?
Great questions. So, let me see. Let me just gather my thoughts. I have to think back when I first started writing the collaborative books. I thought it was the perfect answer to what I didn't have when I got started. So there isn't a central place where you can get all of this information about healing, about the intuitive arts. There isn't technically, a Hogwarts available, in every region of the world that you can just plug into either online or in person. And, I feel like the collaborative books provides a central location with different points of view and, on a specific, topic that goes really in depth. And, it's everything that I would have wanted in terms of answers when I started out. I also have a weird personality type. It's that weirdo INFJ.
We can relate.
We can relate.
I get obsessive about like getting answers. And so you can be like a dog with a bone, and I'm like, I need to know the answer. And you start going from person to person, like, do you have the answer? Do you have the answer?
Yeah.
I'm not even asking that one.
And ultimately, it becomes like a scavenger hunt, and it can be frustrating. And that's the beauty of like the books that you have put together. You have it in a central location, you have a theme, and people can really dig deep. And it's a beautiful thing. And you not only learn from the stories, but people are also sharing like different techniques and things like that. So it's just a beautiful thing. What was the second part of the question, Todd? Sorry.
Second part was how has the process of writing the books impacted your work as a healer?
Oh, well, every time that I teach or write, it actually makes me better at what I do, right? So I have to be able to answer the questions and anticipate the questions and get the answers, and be able to know my stuff. So it's whether it's writing or teaching. So it's really helped me just to dig in a little bit deeper with the techniques, explaining things so that other people can understand it, so that it's not just an abstract thing, but actual things that, they can follow as well. There's still an ineffable quality about healing, spirituality, and intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to be able to describe that, but also have a practical how-to.
Yeah, I love it. And as a fellow INFJ, I completely relate to having to use NI, or introverted intuition, as our leading function. And are we the only one that does that? Of the 16, it doesn't matter. I'm rusty on that. But there's only a couple of us that use that NI in the front seat or lead with it. And for us, that what does that look like? Without getting into jargon, it looks like considering a lot of different perspectives when we're in our thoughts or getting ready to share something or write something, like you were just speaking to. How do I explain this in a way that is really easy to interpret, right? And when you said that, I related immensely, of course, being the same type, because I go through that same exact process when I'm writing something down. And sometimes it starts, I haven't written anything spiritual in a really long time, but when I'm writing like the business books, the same process is happening. And some of the ideas are kind of spiritual in a way. And then I'll take a lot of time to work on an idea and develop it, and sometimes write it down and refine it over and over, which is that same process happening just on the page, until it becomes something really solid. Like it's a theory that makes a whole lot of sense. It's not so wispy anymore. It's like, it's as practical as I can get it to make it usable for someone else, So that whole process of taking something that could just feel like theory to someone and trying to make it as user-friendly as possible is another way of how that looks in action. So I can completely relate.
And you guys are so good at it. Like with your latest book, Butts and Seats, you do. Because when you do something over and over again, you kind of forget, because you kind of breeze through all the steps. And you guys break down all of the steps so that it makes it so easy to follow. So it's amazing.
Todd is the champion of that. Sure. Yeah. It's the curse of knowledge, right? And as a cognitive dysfunction, I guess. But it's like, if I know something, then I think everybody else knows it. But Todd does a really good job of going, I don't know if they know, and so I'm going to tell them. So I think that's good. That's really good.
I don't know if they know, so I'll tell them. That's a T-shirt for me.
I don't know if they know. So
So the question is, do they want to know?
Do they want to know? Is it?
Yeah.
Do they really?
That's on the
What?
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
do they want? But do they really want to know? Yeah. Oh, that's perfect for me.
That's
actually.
great. I think I know what on my new cricket activity is going to be, like my little
Mhm.
Yeah.
cutout thing. My biggest problem is that is because the perspective piece as also a fellow INFJ is that I'll argue for the other side of my thinking,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, wait a minute, what do I think? Oh, well, you know what? But I could see it from the other side. And it's like, ah, damn it. I don't know what I think. So that's something that catches me up actually when I'm doing writing and stuff, but
Good.
find ways around it.
I'll add that I do that more and more with my writing, like deliberately, because Butts and Seach was such a hodgepodge, and it started as a pile of data that needed to be worked and reworked over time, because I had so much information, as opposed to other books, which I had a clear outline and I just laser beamed right through it. So this took more development, but there was still a ton of value in it. But the cool part about this is that I was having to check and make sure everything was on theme and everything made sense together. It should not come off disjointed. Everything needs to be in line with each other, right? So my point is, there were several sections that ended up being omitted, for example, because it was maybe good, but it just didn't have enough to do with the theme, so it just got omitted. And then the things that were really relevant, I developed those further to make it more relevant to the theme and more seamless. But to speak directly to what Kyra was saying, the cool thing was that I found myself doing in this book and the previous book, arguing for the other side of my thinking, especially when I felt any kind of judgment on my part, which has to be eliminated, right? Sometimes an idea comes out with, oh, you know what? I'm really pissed about this and I'm going to write it down. And that's okay for getting it out, but you don't do that at the reader. You do that to yourself, and then you work it out and you refine it and you look for the gold nugget and you say, well, is there a gold nugget in there? Or is it just me venting about some experience that's going to offer no benefit for anyone? So a lot of times
relatability, right?
Excuse me?
You become very relatable, because a lot of times people have the same experience as you, but it's not necessary, to put that into every single scenario,
I don't want to commiserate with people through writing,
right.
I could save that for conversation, but I want to offer as much value as possible. And then, so obviously, give the gold nuggets, the best of the best. And then if I'm still not sure at that point, this is my thoroughness, I'll argue for the other side and I'll say like, okay, what if I can say it this way? Or could it be true this way? And that offers a whole new framework to interpret it for myself in a better way, and then rework it and find even more value that I didn't even know was in there. So this is all perspectives. This is all that INFJ intuition thing to develop our content more just by questioning the way we do. And I wonder what would happen if I wrote it this way, or if I took that angle. And then if you just give yourself more time to develop anything, it's not like I'm a virtuoso. I just take time to think things through and develop it. And I follow my feelings on that development of stuff until it feels like it's settled, or if it to it's right. Kind of like maybe a Reiki session when you decide, okay, I don't need to work on this part of the body anymore. It feels complete. The same thing kind of happens when you're writing. So I wanted to speak to that for Kyra. I didn't mean to make it about me, but to say, I totally get it. So
I feel like this is right now we're having an INFJ support group meeting. I really do. Like my soul feels better all of a sudden.
A lot of seeing happening. Yeah. A lot of seeing.
A lot of seeing each other.
This is great.
Let's see. What else do we have here for Madame YuSon?
Why don't you ask her the next one?
Okay, I'll do it. In your Pause and Purpose chapter, Lessons from an Enchanted Peanut, you share the deep spiritual connection you had with your dog, Peanut. And I've got a picture of Peanut. How did writing this chapter help you process and reflect on that experience? And what do you hope readers take away from it?
Well, there's a reflection, allows you to see more than things in the moment. Oh, there's Peanut. So,
And the dog.
she's the best. But the proverb that hindsight is 2020, reflection, and and you need to do that, and in writing allows you to see things that you didn't see or notice in the moment, right? And you see all these details that you kind of overlooked, but you also see the bigger picture. And writing that chapter about Peanut, I remembered all of these like things that like really made her magical. And I knew and I felt that she was magical when, I lived with her for 10 years. And also like how much she's taught me, but she's taught me things like it's okay to have public displays of affection. You can kiss anyone at any time. It's okay to be vulnerable, show your belly. But she's also magical in that, she showed up like 6 months before I got her. And that was crazy. And then even when she left, she started sending me emails called the Daily Peanut. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
crazy. So, and she had this like amazing quality with like hummingbirds, and they would just follow her like and hover right around her head. So everywhere we went. So there are lots of different things that you see in terms of the big picture, and then all the details when you do self-reflection and looking back. So did you ask me the second part yet?
What do you hope readers will take away from that?
I hope that readers will take away like how much our greatest teachers can come in like all different forms. It doesn't have to be on 2 legs. It could be furry and 4-legged, or it could be a goldfish. Who knows? So, but to just be open and to really take in their magic and their lessons at the time, and also think back on it.
This is the book that we're talking about, you guys. Cause and Purpose, Inspiring Animal Tales of Healing and Transformation. And so this is a phenomenal book. Your chapter is amazing. It really, I believe, I mean, like when I saw a picture of Peanut, like my heart opened up. I was like, this is the sweetest dog. I would put this dog's whole head in my mouth. In not a weird way.
How is that not weird?
Well, I just want to eat Peanut's face. Because violent love.
Yeah. Well, she would have kissed you so hard that like her tongue would go inside your nose.
Yay!
That's how much she would show the love. You would have really enjoyed it, Todd.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a dog lover for sure.
Yeah, we're dog. I'm a cat person, but we're dog people. We've got a pit bull Todd had trained to do be a Good Samaritan dog. So
Therapy dog.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
so that, which is really good to just help with awareness around pit bulls and help people see that their helpmates not all violent and scary.
Right.
And
yep, she's a certified therapy dog.
Yep. The other dog is just a mess. He's
Will not be a
little curly tailed white dog, little, fluffy
Trauma.
thing. And he just is like, and I'm like, listen, you came to me for pets. Okay.
He's really sweet. He's just overreacts with certain things.
Yes. He does.
Oh, like some people. That's okay.
Yes, like his mama. Me.
A little bit of truth in both of us from those dogs, I guess.
Oh yeah, these are ours.
Oh my gosh.
Right hand side.
Yeah.
Honey at the bottom and Jack on top.
Yep.
They're
She's doing
adorable.
her pig grin while she's sleeping, which is so cute because I
Pity
would go
grin.
and pet her, and then all of a sudden her little grin comes up. It's cute.
I guess it is a grin.
It is. That's what they're called, pity grins.
I stumbled across pity grins. I stumbled across a really cool quote that I was just seeing for the first time. I don't know if it's famous or anything, and I just hadn't seen it, but it seems very like a historic type of a quote. I didn't write down the name because the guy's name was really, really long, but it's a really cool quote that feels. I mean, I didn't have time. I wanted to.
Right. I love that. No matter, say all the right things and have a short pronounceable name. that's the key to
I think it was from like centuries ago.
Sure,
kind of name, like all the vowels and consonants. But if I had used the quote in a book, I absolutely would have quoted the entire name. But I'm just
right. It's okay, Todd. You are forgiven.
That's as good as I got right now. In fact, I can go look up the name if it makes it.
No, all the vowels and consonant guys, he completely forgives you. It's all good.
So so the quote which is applicable to this content tonight, is those who see all creatures in themselves and themselves in all creatures know no fear. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
I shared that with Kyra, and I said, "You're going to love this." And I shared it with her, and she loved it.
Loved it. I loved it.
She loved it. I
so
just know
much.
what she's going to love things.
Because it's so true, right? It's like if I'm afraid of something, it's because I don't see myself in them. I don't see them in me.
Right.
And that's for humans too. Like if I'm afraid of a person, then I'm just not seeing, myself. And I'm not loving myself, and I'm afraid of myself, so I think that's kind of just such an interesting quote. What a profound thing it really is.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to harm, if I truly see myself in them, why would I want to harm them? Or why would I want to attack another person if they are just me? So good. Concentrated orange juice.
And I think it's a derivative quote, but it says essentially the same thing. And I've got the name, and I'm putting it in the comments.
Okay, Kenny's joining us. He said, "Radha Mahari, yep,
that through type of thing."
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
And
it's Isha Upanishad.
That's the person who did the quote.
Isha, maybe it's Isha.
And it seems, it was like Hindu, like thousands of years ago. Yeah. It's what it looks like.
Yeah, but
look at us being culturally appropriate. Trying anyway. Oh God.
But I think that's what makes animals like the best teachers and healers, because they do it in such a gentle way. Like we see ourselves in them, they, vice versa. And we see their hurt sometimes, like when animals are abused, and we can help them heal. And they can help us too. So
yeah, very appropriate to the type of work we're talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also it's extremely spiritual. I mean, I see the truth of this quote in different philosophies, even A Course in Miracles, which is just, all judgment is self-judgment, right? So If you're not judging yourself, you're not going to project it. And if you're claiming your innocence and claiming their innocence, how can you be afraid? There's no projection happening, you know? So I think that quote also encapsulates that just beautifully, you know? Love your enemy. You know, so many things are applicable from that same quote.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Todd.
My pleasure. Next one. Do we talk that one out?
Yeah. We worked right on through that one.
All right. YuSon, your writing touches on both the physical and spiritual aspects of healing. How do you balance sharing personal stories, which you do very well, with providing practical guidance for readers who may be looking for both inspiration and tangible healing methods? And I just have to say, YuSon is so, oh man, what's the word for this? Let it be the perfect word. She is so adept. Has such a level of synthesized perfection in this. This is the way she writes. It's just such synthesis. Maybe that's the best word I got. Such synthesis between the storytelling and the teaching that it's like you don't even you feel like you're being tucked in by her, for one.
Yeah.
And being put to bed, and don't even realize that she's teaching you something, because there's a story happening and a lesson that's happening, and it's just so beautifully blended together. So good luck commenting on that one. I think I stole your thunder.
Well, I think my writing kind of reflects how my brain and my personality works. So I always have to keep in mind I'm very logical, and I need to, relay the logic, because I know that airy fairy talk didn't work on me.
Mhm.
I just couldn't relate, and so I had to, I use things that people can relate to in terms of practicality. And the thing is, everyone has a story, and stories are very personal, but they can also be very universal. And so I know that, my story is my own, and my struggles, but it could help other people. The hard part that I had to go against the grain when I'm writing is I don't like to talk about myself very much. And so, sharing these stories, it's an area of vulnerability. Again, a lesson Peanut taught me. I'm showing my belly here.
Yeah.
And so, even when I go on vacation and I come back, I only like to repeat my vacation story twice. And then that's it. Yeah. I just don't like to. So the writing and the teachings force me to kind of go against the grain, but it helps as a bridge, the stories, in terms of relatability and get the practical stuff in there as well.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. And I've read a lot of chapters in these collaboration books these last many years, 8 years. And I still remember some of the visuals I got as you were telling your stories, about the family immigrating, and Star Trek references, and some things are near and dear to my heart. I'm a little biased, but the storytelling is also memorable,
Mhm.
and and I mean, if you're getting a Reiki session, I mean, who wouldn't remember good storytelling while you're feeling good? You know what I mean? It's like massage my neck and ask me for money kind of thing. That's the time to ask for something, right? But she's telling you her story and giving you a Reiki session. She's giving it all, and doing vulnerability work, and doing it beautifully, which is incredible,
Oh, thank you. So yeah, I think it's I try to infuse a lot of feeling and the healing into my writing. So I use a lot of imagery in the stories. So I'm so glad to hear that it landed for you.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we speak the same language, so it makes it even easier, right?
Yeah,
Both
sci-fi.
speak Jay.
Kenny's saying, I hope I wake up in time for work if I read it, right? If she tucks, if the book tucks me in.
I will lull you to sleep.
That's right.
I don't know if that's a good thing for a book.
Oh, it's a great thing.
You're
Listen,
trying to go to sleep. Yeah, that's what you want.
yeah. I mean, if you're driving while reading, that's probably not a good.
Can save
Well,
a
thanks,
fortune
Kenny.
on melatonin.
Oh, yeah.
Kyra, you want to
Oh,
go
my
next?
Yeah, I'll go next. So kind of along the same lines as what we've been talking about, writing about healing, especially personal and emotional experiences. This is the right question, right? I'm doing
Yes.
this right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Writing about healing, especially personal and emotional experiences, can be challenging. How do you overcome any blocks or doubts in your writing process? And what techniques do you use to stay focused and authentic?
Okay. Well, writing about personal experiences can be tough because you have to be honest about your traumas, your vulnerabilities, your mistakes. You have to fess up to all of it. And so it takes a lot of self-reflection and honesty. And if you don't know how to do that, it can be difficult. The other thing too is you have to be neutral. And kind of replay the really emotional experiences almost as if you're like a fly on the wall, so that you're not reliving the trauma, you're just observing and going, so that's why I am the way I am. That's why I'm so triggered by certain things.
Yeah. What do you know? Ain't that a hell of a thing?
That's a hell of a thing.
I know. So, but the practical things that I do in order to be neutral is I ground myself, and I do it every morning and every evening, and also in between all the, in between when it's difficult, and I need an extra, anchor. I also imagine, all of the events without the feeling, and I do it's funny that the question is, how do you stay focused, and I'm like, what?
It's all good.
You just have to stay on topic, which I'm clearly
I'm not doing now.
It's a practice in vulnerability, guys.
I do.
We are where we are.
No, it's totally fine. Go with the flow. They're just conversation starters.
Yeah, we're just playing.
Yeah, but really, really being neutral, and I emphasize it in, to my clients and everything. It's really important, so that you don't go around in life triggered. Yeah. And the best way to clear that is to, you can tap, tap, tap at the base of your neck. You can, it's really important to do that when you're grounded too. You can also,
like it.
It's like a reset button.
Good.
Right?
Oh, that's all everybody do.
Tap, tap, yeah.
That baby.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, yeah.
So, and just really letting the moment, really focusing on the moment. So
yeah,
great. Perfect.
Love it. One of the quotes I like the most that I've recently encountered was something really simple called participate in what comes to you,
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of understanding that you drew it in, right? So why resist it? Just be with it. Oh
my gosh, Todd, resistance is futile.
I do know.
all back.
So it's actually, that's one of the things that trigger us the most when we fight something. Instead of going, oh, this is happening, let's see where it takes me, and just being present, and not get, you just ride the wave.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you are less of a control freak, you probably have an easier time with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whereas I came from a lot of control, so that's been a lot of practice.
Yeah, you and me both. I had to fight, past programming, childhood stuff, parent stuff, cultural stuff, you name it.
Yeah. Those examples are some of the loudest tapes that play in our heads. Yeah.
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 So
yeah, the motto in my household was, if I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. So I didn't really know I had an opinion for a really long time. And then I was like, and now I'm fierce about my opinion. No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Like, there's that whole dynamic of now I can be, so I am strong on this. And then, being the personality type that I am, talking about arguing for the other side, and then figuring that whole thing out and learning how to be flexible again. So there's just this whole like dance we do in this lifetime, right? That's just so fascinating, and how it comes across in our words and our work, and how we approach people, how we coach people or love people or our relationships. It's just so much to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if we decide that we want to be different, the old friends or old situations, or your parents, they can try to suck you back into your old patterns. And so it's really difficult actually to break out of cycles. So, yep.
Unless you run away, which is what I did.
That's what I love to do as well. You try to make it work as much as you can. And when, things, you've exhausted either yourself and all your options, then that's the only option. Yeah.
I think that's why they're often referred to as parent tapes, because they keep playing, or any kind of tapes, not dependent on them, but any kind of tapes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'll add. Go ahead.
Oh, I just said I want to erase those.
Erase them.
Yeah, right. Erase.
Yeah. Get the old school demagnetizer from the tape days.
That, or put tape over it or whatever.
Yeah, put tape over the little hole, and then you can record Britney Spears, Debbie Gibson.
If it's a cassette tape, remember we just record the radio station, a different radio station.
Yeah, all the tapes, all your favorite songs had like a bit of a commercial bumper at the beginning and end.
Oh yeah. We're totally aging ourselves.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, it was rough. Now it's like, boop, I'm hearing my favorite song. But when we were kids, it was like, I waited 8 hours to hear my favorite song.
To phone it in and then play the tape once your song came on. Or just be ready, at the ready all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're like, our generation's so patient.
And so mad. We're so mad. Like, why did they get everything immediately?
Oh
yes, patience. Yes.
Patience and tapes and things. I think I've seen the trend with our generation to in some cases have to rediscover our preferences, like how we really feel about things, giving ourselves permission. That's definitely the case, I think, with older generations. And younger, I'm not sure. I think they have an easier time maybe, but with Gen Xers, I've seen that be a trend in terms of giving ourselves permission to do things. And it could be a person by person thing. But the patience, not lack of instant gratification growing up could have had to do with it. I saw an MSN article about, the fact that we didn't have phones in our hands growing up. If you called someone, that was kind of joking, but true. If you called your friend and they weren't there, you had to wait till they got home from wherever they were, So yeah, there's some patience involved, right? Or if you really wanted to know, you'd have to go walk or ride your bike around the neighborhood and see where the bikes were and in whose yard, to find out where your friend was. But
Right.
you couldn't text them instantly. So that sense of patience and that, really, we had to work for it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we did. We had to really want to talk to somebody.
You had to
Now
go
it's
to
like,
where they
I don't
were.
want anyone to call me
Exactly.
ever. Don't. I won't answer. Text me.
Uh-huh.
I would answer the phone for YuSon though.
Yeah, if you wanted them, you had to go find them. You had to physically find them.
It was exhausting. I don't know.
Yeah, right. And I'm not even in town. I've been around this neighborhood 15 times. Where the hell are you? North Carolina? Shit.
Yeah, and if they were in
my aunt.
transit on their bike, then you may have missed them in the neighborhood too. And oh, they're back at home now. They must. And then you smell that there's dinner coming out of their house, and they're eating dinner. You can't
I
go.
didn't know where you were going with the smell. And they smell.
The dinner smell.
Yes, that's all true.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. What were we talking about? Focus? What's that?
Focus, patience,
Reset. Neutral.
understanding our preferences. The funny thing about that stuff is that while we do exercise, we do teach people and teach ourselves to exercise our preferences. Sometimes, and this isn't necessarily a victimhood thing or a negative thing, it's just sometimes just natural conditioning causes those things not to be questioned about ourselves, whether it's preferences or anything. So as a result, we go into adulthood with some things, not like zombies, but with some things, just realizing, oh shoot, I never thought about that, or I never thought to question that for myself or about the fact that I could choose something differently. I don't want to say that victimhood was programmed in necessarily, but if you never really considered something that you didn't normally consider, and the people you were around didn't normally consider, then it just doesn't occur to you to consider it for yourself until you go to someone as amazing like at Shin Healing Arts, where they say, well, have you considered this or did this kind of energy releasing? And then suddenly something shifts and you're like, oh my gosh, it never occurred to me before to give myself permission to do this or to consider this other perspective, where my whole life I had been doing it this one way. And now, thanks to you, YuSon, I can consider, I feel a shift in me, and I feel like this whole new world has opened up, and I can let myself off the hook, or I can just let myself have the preference to get a Starbucks coffee every day if that's what I want to do, or whatever, So little choices can add up to realizing that we have the choice to choose to feel better. Right.
I love that you brought this up. So I just spent 10 days visiting my best friend in Washington, D.C., and he has a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Now, the 2-year-olds are special. They really let you know what they like and what they do not like.
Yeah.
So, I kind of learned something from hanging out with this, 2-year-old that like would scream, really her outrage over nothing. And, it makes me like think I could be, yes, I do know what I like, but I could be more vocal about it sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of, letting people, letting things slide, just to make it easier for other people. And that's where, boundaries become a slippery slope.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to get to know YuSon some more, go out to www.yusonshin.com. Or Shin Healing Arts will also direct you to her website as well. So if that whichever one is easier for you.
That sounds like another chapter, and I think it's even more common, is what you just said, which is I know my preference, but I'm not speaking to it.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a whole book, absolutely. And the thing that I said before that, I think is less common because it has to become conscious first.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll become more common as you do practice speaking to your preferences, because then your subconscious starts kind of going in alignment with that. So my comment could be a footnote in your next book about unspoken preferences,
I think that's a commitment for.
That's right.
Yeah. That could be a fun one.
Yeah.
How to speak up for your preferences. Boy,
yeah,
I think
that can be
people would
tough.
actually
That
read
can be a lifelong learning type of thing.
lifelong
Mhm.
journey.
Lifelong learning.
Learning.
Lifelong learning. I'm a writer. I'm a writer and I publish books for a living. Can you tell?
Can you tell?
Yikes.
Well, I'm just going to channel my inner 2-year-old as much as I can.
I love that.
Heck yeah.
Did we finish
Speaking
our
of
last
writing,
question?
Yeah, speaking of writings, I'll just put this out there. We have a collaborative project available if you would like to become a writer in one of our collaboration books. And we handle everything. You express, we handle the rest, right? asyouwishpublishing.com/we write, because we're doing it together. You're not doing it alone. It's super fun. It's super easy. And you get to be a part of a beautiful, amazing community of people just like you who want to bring wisdom to the world. So please, please, please be a part of our next collaboration book. The base price is $197. You cannot beat it with a stick, as they said when I was a kid. You can't beat it with a stick, apparently.
Many of us carried sticks.
Yes, many of us had to.
Just for fun.
I feel like we've had a support group for INFJs and Gen Xers tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
Last question. Yeah.
I just think, again, like your story is very personal, but it's so like stories are also very universal. People can relate to it. And like writing a collaborative book or your own full-fledged book, which is a scary thought sometimes, but well worth getting your story out. I know I will do it at some point.
Girl, you just let me know if you need any help. I'll help you figure it out.
Okay. Yeah.
We need more YuSon in the world.
Oh yeah.
And and doing it with the best publishers ever. That's a bonus. It really does help the process. I've tried a few other publishers early on, and I found, you and Kyra, Todd and Kyra, and I just can't leave you. I'm addicted to you.
Oh, well, we can't quit you either, baby.
Can't quit you.
And that's why I keep signing up for more books.
I know. I love it. It's my favorite thing. So when you sign up, when anybody signs up is amazing. I know how dedicated you are and how, limited your time is too, and how, you what level of care and attention you take to putting together a chapter for us. So when you come on, it makes me feel like I matter. It makes me feel picked, to be honest. And I like feeling picked.
Well, I just want to show both of you my love.
I love it. I receive it.
Turn in a good chapter.
I receive it. I receive it. I receive it. Honey, did you have one more question? And
yeah.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. YuSon, as an experienced author and healer, for sure, what what advice do you have for aspiring authors who want to publish for the first time in a collaboration book, or maybe publish their own solo book?
I would say the best time is right now. You both pick amazing topics to have the collaborative books on. I really was drawn to the Pets and Purpose book. So, and there's Pause and Purpose. And there's so many others. There were 8 others that I was drawn to. And so, it's always going to be a scary thought, but it's actually easier than it is in your head, the fear. So I would say sign up and challenge yourself. It's always a growing experience. So, if you're really scared, do a collaborative book first, because it's less of a, commitment. And, in terms of like practical tips on how you would put a book together, I use the whole index card system. So I have different topics, and like I arrange it in the order that I want to flow. And it's so helpful. And then you can move it around. And it's like the best. And then as you write on each topic and like really put, flesh on the bones, it really does come together. And that's what makes it really easy. Now, for people who have a hard time sitting down and typing it out or writing it out, I would recommend still starting with the index cards, but then, record your story, and then transcribe it. And it couldn't be easier. And then, you can edit after that, after it's transcribed. The process there are so many different ways to make it easy for yourself. And, you guys are always available too. And you make it super easy. Just don't miss the deadline. That's a no-no.
That's right.
Yeah, but
number one.
Well, I never want to let you guys down. So
I never felt let down by you ever.
But yeah, you guys are the best publishers ever.
We appreciate that. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, is there anything that you would like to promote right now that you're currently offering through your Shin Healing Arts or your website? Or
again, it's the awkward. I have to talk about myself. I do teach 2-day weekend workshops on how to really boost your intuition and learn some healing techniques. I think the next level 1 is in October, early on. And then level 2 is in December, the first weekend. So go to my website and check out the dates.
Now, are you doing that? Are you doing that in person or online?
It's on Zoom, and all levels are welcome. So you don't have to have previous experience. Just come with an open mind and prepare to have fun, because it's very experiential. You're actually practicing and doing fun exercises. And while you're having fun, you're learning. So
love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I say, if you feel drawn, definitely work with YuSon. She is.
Oh my gosh! If you feel drawn, work with YuSon.
You're right. You're a poet, Todd.
T-shirt time. That's 2 T-shirts tonight.
Yes.
When's your birthday, Todd?
YuSon.
Are you drawn? Pick YuSon.
Pick YuSon.
My birthday, August 23rd. I just had it a month ago.
Okay, we're 2 days apart.
I meant to ask you your sign. I always wish you happy birthday, but I don't. Are you on the cusp then? Are you Virgo?
Yeah, I am a Leo, but I have so many Virgo
You're on
other things.
Leo. Got it.
I'm more Virgo. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, But happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
And expect a t-shirt.
Happy birthday,
Not
YuSon, too.
necessary.
Thank you.
But yes, if you, if you're feeling YuSon, keep feeling, because she is incredible. And go to her website, sign up for her stuff, because she is really good at what she does. She's up there with Sally. You know,
Yeah.
she's go to her website. You're going to see a little logo, and it says Sally certified.
Sally approved.
Sally certified and approved.
YuSon is Sally approved and certified. It's it's and you cannot, like, I have seen, I have connected with, I've talked to like world renowned speakers and people who, in the different work that I've done, and I dare you to find really any difference, with the amount of the quality, the care, the connection that YuSon has with the divine, and how she works with people in practical, full of integrity, balanced, grounded ways. I mean, I could not find somebody better to have,
Yeah.
in my life, a part of our collaborations. I highly recommend literally anything she has to offer. It's good for you. Do it.
Yep. Agreed.
Do the things. Do all the things.
Do all the things. Do all the things.com also redirects to. No, but seriously, you can, a really good test for, now go to whoever you're drawn to for anything. Follow your intuition, of course. But a really good test is to feel how you feel in someone's presence, because that's an indication of your energy matching up. It's also an indication of how much presence they're carrying, or they're grounding into that moment. It can also be an indication of how much integration they've achieved with their respective thing that you're working with them on or considering working with them on. So the feelings contain everything. I mean, the feelings really contain a lot. So someone like YuSon really has that presence and that feeling. And when you're coming to her, and you're talking with her or reading her what she writes, you can really feel that presence. Especially if you're meant to talk to her, right? You could certainly feel that presence, because she's offering that. She's grounded in that. And that is just such a clear sign that somebody really knows what they're doing. They're really grounded in what they're doing. Their presence is there. A lot of times you talk to people and they're just like, okay, yeah, whatever, and it's like a car going by. Zoom, but, go get see you. And we can all get like that. I can certainly be that way. YuSon is more present than not. I mean, she is, when you talk to her, she is listening to what you're saying, and vice versa. And that can give you an oxytocin hit just by someone being present with you, for crying out loud. So that level of presence that someone brings as a practitioner is a really great indicator of someone's level of expertise, in a way, because it shows you how much they've disciplined themselves to pay attention to you, right? They're not there saying, I want you to listen to me now. They're saying, I'm here listening to you. Talk to me, and feel how you feel in their presence. That's a really good indicator, so definitely YuSon exemplifies that. Sally is really great at that too. You can feel that from her, Stacy, Christopher, a lot of these great folks who are just so integrated with themselves that you can feel it with them, and definitely trust yourself and take a step towards them when you feel that.
It's so true. Well, guys, how do we feel? Do we feel complete?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you for
so much.
all the laughing.
I know.
It's just great to be in your company.
The laughing, shinning show. I believe we all got shinned
Schaefering
tonight.
show.
Oh, another T-shirt.
That's another T. Go get shinned. Go shin
Go get
yourself.
Shin. Oh my God. You can make put your business logo on the T-shirt
Yeah.
and put the really funny font at the top that says the shinning instead of the shining. Would that be spelled the same?
I think so.
They might
That'd be
be.
spelled the same, except your face is through the door. Instead of Jack Nicholson, and instead of an axe, you've got like a wand or
You got a Hogwarts wand.
That's scary.
or some other tool that you might use for your sessions. A dowsing pendulum.
We should just go in the T-shirt business.
Here's YuSon.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Thank you
God.
for a good time. For a good
I
time.
just
Call the
love you.
Schaefers.
Schaefer.
It's getting to be the end of the week. That's
You
for
just
sure.
got Schaefer.
You just
We got shinned and you
Schaefer.
got Schaefer.
Another T-shirt. You just got Schaefer.
Oh my gosh, my face hurts. Okay, we got to get off of here, people.
Yep.
And then, but we'll be YuSon, hang out in the green room for a little while, and we are gonna end up here and be right back with you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for watching, everyone.
Todd, YuSon, come on, she's the best human.
She
Best
is
human.
the best.
Do we need to remind anybody of anything before we close up here? Anything Butts and Seeds 2 related?
Butts
Really
and Seeds
quick.
2. Yeah. For Butts and Seeds 2, if you maybe have been seeing my posts on various groups, if you want a free copy of the book, please go to Amazon and download it for free through September 21st at 11:59 p.m. PDT. And that helps the book. The free offering goes through then. You can also get 80% off the Audible, which I think is $1.99. And then it's much appreciated if you write just a couple sentences and submit an Amazon review. That also definitely helps the book. So I'll put a link to that in the comments unless Kyra has it. After we're done here, I can throw a link in for that. And other than that, yeah, visit YuSon, I think, was the main thing.
Yep. Can't beat that. Sounds like a plan.
YuSonShin.com.
Yep. And please, we've also got our Synchronicity book is out right now. So asyouwishpublishing.com/we-write. Go ahead and sign up for it. You will love writing with us. I've decided. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back with you next week. And thank you.
Here, Kyra, hold on.
Oh, okay. I'm holding on. Hold caller.
I'm going to stick the link in.
Got it.
This is the link you go to download the book through September 21st, which is only 2 days away, Saturday night.
Yeah. And if you do that for free, you can get that Audible for 80% off. But, you won't be able to do that like next week. So if you want to, get the Audible, get the ebook, then get the Audible version. It's really fun.
Yep. It's a free promotion through the 21st.
Yeah. Midnight on the 21st.
And that's it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.